everybody. I got some headsets in and welcoming you live from San Jose, Costa Rica, the capital city. So grateful to be here. So grateful to be with you. I'm just returning from the Caribbean side of Costa Rica. I was there for 4 or 5 days, and it's a very interesting culture there. So from what I know, I don't know a ton about it, but what I know is that that back in the 1800s, the Costa Rican government brought laborers from Jamaica to the East Coast, the Caribbean coast of Costa Rica, and had them help build the railroad. Now, I don't know if it was indentured servitude or slavery or labor or what, but they were brought here from Jamaica and other Caribbean, but really Jamaica. And then because of racism at the time, this is again the late 1800s, early 1900s, the Jamaicans and Caribbean islanders that were brought to the Caribbean side of Costa Rica were kept there. They weren't allowed to leave this area. So the area of the Caribbean side, Puerto Viejo, Limon, Cahuita, has developed its own Caribbean culture, kind of like a Calypso Costa Rican mix, right? So there's it's like Rasta pura vida. It's really cool. It's not as developed as the Pacific coast. The jungle reminded me of the Congo in Africa. I'm gonna take this one out because it's too much. So wow, I gotta tell you, the Pacific or the Caribbean side of Costa Rica was really unique. The rice and beans are different. They use coconut, more Caribbean style. The food is different. The music is different. The culture is different. And there's a lot of Rasta, man. Pura vida Rasta Costa Rica. So it was cool. And here I was, this topic today, that service equals abundance, came up because here I was I was at a beautiful house, a 2-story house. Wait a minute, let me say hi. Nicole, hello. Pooja, hello. Pooja from Brooklyn, great to see you. Stan, great, man, back home. Great to see you, brother. Thank you for saying hello. Keep those hellos coming. You know how much I love them. But I want to share with you, here I was having this beautiful experience. Caribbean ocean, Calypso music, great food. I had this giant house with a giant wraparound deck right on the beach. So beautiful. What did I deserve? What did I do to deserve this, right? We, there was some guilt and shame coming up. We travel to these parts of the world, and I have so much more than most of the places that we're traveling. Now, we can all look and see there's somebody who has more than me, and there's somebody who has less than me, right? How do we square this all up, with living a life devoted to God, living a life devoted to oneness, living a life devoted to a deeper realization of our inherent undivided nature from the source of all of life? How do we live a life of service and still live a life of abundance? And I was like, there's some guilt and shame coming up for me around that. Okay, wait a minute. We'll stop, put a pin right there. I got a lot of people saying hi. Chantel, Cynthia, Anne, Amy, Peter, and Paul. We just need Mary. And Nasser, Muzamil, is that right? Did I say it right? Hey, everybody, thank you so much. Paul O'Reilly from Ireland, God love ya. Benny, what's up? So, we get this a lot at Rythmia too. Back to the topic of abundance, prosperity, service, right? Well, there was an old thinking, right? Of like the Carnegies and the Rockefellers, the Gates, whatever you want to call them, of these people that made a lot of money, like inordinate, like more money than you could spend, and then started a foundation, right? Carnegie, Rockefeller, J.P. Morgan, Chase, all those folks, like just grabbed, they sunk their teeth into the ass of life and dragged it towards them, right? By their sheer willpower and competitiveness. And then they built libraries and did some nice things, but the family wealth, the wealth was accumulated on the backs of many, many people. So, you know, we hear this at Rythmia, like, how can you charge so much? Well, we have a scholarship program as well. But there's value in this. And there are people, you know, Reverend Michael talks about the 4 P's of profit: people, planet, purpose, and profit. We have to come up with a new model for living prosperously, living in prosperity. And that's where this topic came from, that how can I be in service to God, service to that which is seeking to emerge, holding this idea of a world that works for everyone? How can I be in service to that and live this life of abundance? Now, I don't want to, I don't know what that abundance looks like. Does it look like a certain amount in my bank account? Does it look like, no, it means that all my needs are met, and that I live this prosperous and abundant life of things that I love to do and enjoy. I love travel. I love exploring. I love meeting other people. I love all that. And I get to be in service. I get to be in service to God. I get to be in service to something greater than myself. And that in fact, loving God, being in service, is the most prosperous thing we can do. And we go back to the principle that there is no separation. There's no separation between the divine and me or you. There's no separation. The only lack we need heal, this is from the Course in Miracles, the only lack we need heal is a sense of separation from God. It's the only lack we need to heal. So if the truth is there's no separation, then there's no separation between service and abundance. And there's no separation between living an amazing life and being in service. And there's no separation between love and prosperity. They coexist. They all exist at the same time. We know this from quantum physics. All right, let's take a minute. We've got Benny said hi. Yes, I said it right. Muzamil. Hello, brother. Where are you calling from, Muzamil? David, Gaylord, hello. Greylord from Seattle. Chantel. Great. I'll see you on the 19th. I'll be there. Dorota, great to see you. Debbie, thank you. Dear, it was so great to connect with you, Debbie. I need to come to London. I do. I'll come see you soon, Dorota. Al-Hadi from Algeria. God bless you, brother. And Carla, Sophie, hey. Thank you, guys. I love it when you guys call in, check in and say hey, and let me know where you're calling from. So this idea that there's no separation between the qualities of God and God. There's no separation between you and God or me and God. Now, I'm coming to a certain understanding that I might have a mission. I heard Neil Donald Walsh say this, and it really resonated with me. And I think I might just steal it outright, but I'll acknowledge that it came from him. He said, we just have to change people's mind about God. And I thought, oh my God, that's it. I'm on a mission to change people's mind about God, because what I thought God was when I was like, I don't believe in God, was that man in the sky meting out justice and, you know, and because you're gay, you're going to burn, or you did this, or, you know, all that stuff, right? Well, this realization that the presence is formless, without form, and it just is, contains all of the qualities. I was just reading the Bhagavad Gita, talking about the formless nature of God, the formless nature of the divine, that contains all possibility, that there's no outside of this. And yet there are condensations. You and I are sort of a condensation of that, the energy that enters and condenses into this form. But there's no separation, because the presence of love and beauty and intelligence is in, through, and as every fiber of our being. Every cell, every corpuscle, every synapse is full of this divine beauty and intelligence. And so there is no separation between the body of God and me. For I am, Ram Dass says, we're God in drag. Yes. And what a fine looking drag show this is. What would your drag name be? Mine would be Miscommunication. What about what about what about Splenda? That'd be a good drag name, Splenda. We could just pick artificial sweeteners, sativa, or stevia. That's not sativa, stevia. Oh my God, I'm cracking myself up. Stevia, that's my drag name. Splenda, sweet and low, girl. That's what I've never done drag, but those would be good names, huh? Okay, back on topic. I got a little distracted. What? The fact is that we're God in drag. That's how we got off a little distracted. We are God in drag. We are the presence of love, beauty, intelligence, wholeness, perfection, order, balance, harmony, peace, joy, elegance, excellence, creativity, all here, all of it, and it's everywhere, expressing, seeking to express, but it requires an outlet, just like any vibration or frequency requires an outlet. And just I'm trying to figure out what Tim said. Anyway, so that all of those qualities are seeking to express. All those qualities are seeking to express right now. They're here. They're here unexpressed. It's like a radio wave that's doesn't have a receiver, right? Or a television signal that doesn't, the signal is there. All of it, all the information, all the images, all the sound, everything is there, but it requires something to receive it in order to be realized. We are that receiver and so what's required for us is to simply open up to remove those things, the law of subtraction, right? That we remove those things that are not us. Fear, doubt, worry, lower thought forms of lack and limitation and belief in our not enoughness. We remove those things. That's how we become more of who we really are. That's how we become more of a receiver. And as we do that, then the next step of our service emerges. Oh, what's next for me to do? We begin, as we become more and more aware of the presence, we begin to move out of a narrow-minded idea of gaining surplus for our own personal benefit and move into a bigger idea of being in service to others and knowing that all of our needs are met as we are in service. Because again, the only lack we need correct is a sense of separation from God, a sense of separation from the good, a sense of separation from the universal flow of abundance that is constantly seeking to express itself. If the nature of God is abundant and all we need to do is look outside, I wish you could see it. Let me see if I could take you out. Here is San Jose. Can you see it? Look at this, these beautiful mountains. They're just, these volcanoes are covered, and out there is just so much beauty, so much. Oh, the jungle is amazing up in those mountains, and there's nothing but abundance out there. And that's the nature of God. And it's expressing out there, and it's expressing right here, and it's expressing right where you are. So if the nature of God is abundant, then so are we. And there is no separation between our service to the divine, us being in service to others who are in need, what's in front of us to do, whether it's the homeless person on the street, a friend of ours who's suffering from addiction or from some other depression, or whether it is a greater service to organizations that help elderly or work with the prison to school pipeline or help with homelessness. Whatever we're being called to do does not mean that we must live a life of poverty. For the nature of God is abundant. It's expressing its abundance everywhere. All of nature trumpets the abundance of the divine. And we are an expression of nature. You and I are nature. In our bodies, we're abundant. And so, we need only recognize and remember our oneness with the source of all of life. Even don't get caught up with appearances. What you see is not always what you get. Our eyes can only perceive what the mind can conceive. Reverend Michael was talking about that last Sunday. He called it paradigm blindness. The eyes can only see what the mind can conceive. So if we aren't in the space of opening up our awareness, we'll never see the things that we aren't seeing. So I guess that's it. That feels like a good place to stop. The point is that let me just read. I'm going to just read the text that I had. That there is no separation between abundance and service. They are one and the same. God does not ask us to have a poor lifestyle when we're in service. In order to be our best selves, we must be enjoying life. If we're to give the highest version of ourselves to another, we must be living in a lifestyle that is prosperous. It must be the lifestyle that we want and the lifestyle that entails prosperity. This is the time when we must be a demonstration that loving God is the most prosperous that you can do, the most prosperous thing that you can be. Loving God is prosperous. This is a progression from the old spiritual thought that, you know, we had to live in poverty in order to be in service. It's the next evolution of that, showing that there is no separation between service and prosperity. Prosperity and love coexist. This is the next evolution of the teaching. Our lives, your life, my life, is to be a demonstration of abundance and service, to be in love with the divine and to love ourselves because we are an expression of the divine, and then to go forth and share our love with others. That sounds like something different than what I meant to say. Go forth and share your love with others. I plan on doing, no. I plan on making a giant step for mankind tonight. Oh, man. Yes. All right. Lynn, Min, great. Thank you. Rick, sup, brother. Chantel, Angela, great. I'll see you October 10th to 17th. Dorota, love you. Tanya, Rick, abundance shows up in many forms. Indeed, it do. And Carla, thank you so much for these reminders as well. I'm wishing you all richest blessings. Next Thursday, I'll be coming to you live from Peru, up in Cusco at a cool 11,250 feet, maybe even higher. I want to take you higher. Boom, chakalaka, boom, chakalaka. Yeah, all right. So tune in next week. Same bat time, same channel. And we'll be coming from Peru. All right. Peace and richest blessings.